If you're struggling to beat the Puppeteer and where the winds meet, this video will help you beat him at any level of the game, whether you just made your character and gained access to the open world, or have sunken in a few hours and have a few skills. My biggest piece of advice for you is that the best offense is a good defense. The perfect dodge and parry will be your best friend. Keep in mind, deflecting and parrying are different. I made the mistake of deflecting before every attack, thinking it would trigger the parry, which led to me wasting 15 minutes dying to the same basic attacks over and over and over again, thinking the parry window was just super tight. In reality, you can only parry when you press E for PC. And the parry has a pretty generous window, to be honest. The importance of parrying is 1, you don't take any damage while aura farming, and 2nd, when you parry attacks you reduce their blue bar, which when fully depleted lets you deal a big chunk of damage when you press F. This is basically like the Stagger from like the Souls games. Taking advantage of their Stagger gauge will be your main way of dealing DPS, especially when you're under leveled. The next best way of dealing damage is through the perfect dodge mechanic. When you dodge an attack at the last second, it slows down time for a while and lets you get in good chip damage, especially when he has this big yellow attack, which by the way can't be parried. This is a little bit more of an aggressive but defensive play. If you get on him and you deal damage and you stay like right on his hip and you're always like in front of him or to the side of him, most of his attacks won't hit, especially if you walk around him as he's doing them, especially with like the spins and things like that. The only thing you have to worry about with doing that is his push attack, which if you hit him too much, he'll like try to push you away or like poke you like he's using a pitchfork. And what you do is to wait for him to switch his spear into like the different stance, and then that's when you parry. He usually does a decent wind up and you can kind of see it before it happens. On my last run, I was up close and personal with him, and I just kept trying to deal damage to him, and a few of his attacks missed that would have hit me and maybe killed me. So I did get a little bit lucky, but it's another way to stay defensive and deal a lot of damage. So if you haven't explored the game a lot like I have, because I just started, you'll only have like maybe 1 or 2 skills. You really can do this at any level. You don't necessarily need skills, and it just helps the fight a little bit better and helps you get in some more chip damage, because if you can use your skill, you can interrupt some of his attacks, and it can help you reset the fight a little bit and then get some of the attacks that you want to parry. Speaking of attacks, there's a few attacks that I would want to mention that are really easy to parry and have pretty decent timings, and you can basically bait them out. So the first one is obviously the big slam. He does it at the start of every fight, and he does it a lot, so it's very easy to parry. You just wait for him at the top of his windup, and then as soon as he comes down, parry. The next one is the 3 swings. He does like a 3 attack swing, and it's like 1 and 2 are really fast, and the third one is slow. So the only thing that you have to worry about is that last one, because it is a little bit delayed. And then the next attack that I'd look out for is in his second phase. He has like this red glow to him, and then he attacks you. It's basically a free parry. It's very, very easy. And you deal a little bit of damage, but it's mainly for the stagger. It can help reset the fight. And the other thing is, don't try to parry those little paper guys, because they actually can deal some decent damage, and they actually shoot up spikes. So it's better to just perfect dodge those attacks so that you can get more damage in on them, because staggering them won't really do much and it's kind of not worth the time. But the good thing is that the Puppeteer won't attack you while you're fighting the little minions, so you can kill them off pretty easily. The next attack that actually helped me kill him off was the whirlwind attack, where he like spins his staff or spear, whatever it is, in a circle, and then it makes like a cloud around him. If you parry, like if you just spam the parry button, you'll just get free hits, and it'll basically it'll eat up all of his stagger bar. So you'll basically get a free stagger, and you'll deal a lot of damage. You can either perfect dodge it, or you can parry it over and over and over again. It's a little bit riskier to parry it, because you have to kind of know when it's happening and then spam it. The perfect dodge will also work. You'll just not get as much damage, and you won't be able to stagger him. It's situational. Depending on your health and everything, you can choose which one you would rather use. The last thing that I want to mention is not technically about the boss fight, but it is important. If you only mainly use one weapon and you don't really use your secondary, I would suggest getting the fan. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a healing fan. I didn't know about it until maybe last week or something like that. And during the time of recording, I never even knew about it. I was brand new to the game. It's in the starting area. I forgot which dungeon it's at, but you just have to, I forgot what it's called, like a skill theft or something like that, and you can get it, and it heals you a lot more than the little flasks that you get in the beginning of the game. and they're really stingy about heals, so I would suggest getting the fan instead of using the flasks. And you can actually fight while using the fan, and the fan deals damage, and you get to heal while dealing damage, which is way better than having to stop and then look around and then drink and all that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if this guide helped you or if you actually beat the Puppeteer. We're on the road to 1,000. We'll see how far we can get. I'll see you in the next video.